My friends, take a moment. You are at a desk on a quiet morning. A cup of coffee sits near your hand. A small yellow square is waiting beside your notebook. Imagine the soft sound of paper moving under your fingers. Imagine the warm light from a window. Imagine a busy office, but this one little note is calm. Imagine writing 3 words, pressing the note on a wall, and walking away with one small task saved. Have you ever stopped to wonder why this tiny paper can stick, but not too much? Where did it come from? Why is it everywhere? How did it change daily work? Can you imagine an office without it? Can you imagine a world where every small reminder has to be tied with string, pinned with metal, or lost forever under a sandwich? Here is the little surprise, my friends. This famous office tool began as a mistake. For a long time, it was not a product at all. It was only a strange glue that did not glue very well. Today, we will travel across time and across places in simple, clear English. Our first stop is a laboratory. The room is bright. There are tables, bottles, paper, and careful hands. People are trying to make useful things. They want strong materials, they want better tape, they want glue that can hold tight. But there was a problem. One worker was looking for a strong glue. He wanted a glue with real power, a glue that could hold and stay. But the result was strange. It was weak. It could stick to paper, yes, but it could also come off again. That sounds like failure, doesn't it? Imagine working for many days, maybe many weeks, and then finding a glue that does not do the job. It sticks but softly. It holds but not forever. It is not strong enough for the plan. Many people might say, "This is useless." Say it with me. It did not work. But sometimes, my friends, a thing that does not work for one job can work beautifully for another. The glue was not strong, but it had a special gift. It could stick again and again. It could leave a surface clean. It could hold a piece of paper for a short time and then let it go. This was the first quiet change. At first, no one knew what to do with it. A weak glue is not easy to sell. A company cannot put it in a box and say, "Here is glue that is not very strong." That would be a very funny advertisement. Can you imagine a shop sign saying, "Buy our glue, it almost works"? But the little glue waited. In the next chapter, we travel from the laboratory to another place. Not a factory, not a big store, a church. Imagine a man standing with a book of songs. The room is peaceful, voices rise together. The pages are thin and the music is important. The man has a simple problem. He wants to mark pages in his book. He uses small pieces of paper, but they fall out, they slide away. They hide inside the book like small paper fish. Have you ever tried to save a page and then lost the mark? Have you ever opened a book and asked, "Where was I?" The man remembers the strange glue. It is weak, yes, but maybe weak is not bad here. A strong glue would hurt the page. A pin would make a hole. Tape would be too much. But a soft glue could hold the paper mark in place, so he tries it. Imagine a little paper mark with this gentle glue on one side. It sits on the page. It stays, then it comes off. The page is safe. The mark can move. Repeat after me. It stays, then goes. This small moment is important, my friends. The mistake begins to find its place. It is no longer only a failed glue. It is a new idea. It is a note that can travel from page to page. But there was still a problem. A clever idea is not the same as a product. Many ideas live on desks for years. Many ideas sit in drawers. People may like them, but they may not know how to use them every day. Think about it. If someone gives you a small sticky paper for the first time, what do? Do you write a phone number on it? Do you mark a book? Do you put it on a door? Do you stick it on your friend's coat and say, "Buy milk"? Please do not do that. Your friend may not enjoy becoming a walking shopping list. The people behind the idea had to learn something simple. They had to learn how ordinary workers really used notes. Now let us travel to the office world of the past. Imagine desks with typewriters. Imagine phones with cords. Imagine paper files standing in rows. Imagine messages written by hand and carried from one desk to another. There is movement everywhere. A person needs to call a customer. Another person needs to sign a paper. Someone needs to remember a meeting. Someone else needs to tell a coworker, "Please see this," but there was a problem. Paper notes did not stay where people needed them. Tape was too sticky, pins could damage papers, paper clips could fall away, and writing directly on a document could feel too final. What did people need? They needed a note that could hold a message, sit in the right place, and move when the job was done. They needed something gentle, useful, and easy to see in the light of a busy day. Try this phrase. I need a reminder. That simple need opened the door. The strange glue now had a possible future. A small square of paper could carry a small thought. It could sit on a desk, a file, a wall, or a phone. It could say, "Call back." It could say, "Read this." It could say, "Do not forget." But would people really use it? That is the next question. A new tool can look simple, but simple things must still win trust. How can a little sticky note move from one small idea to many desks, many offices, and then many countries? Now let us travel to the moment when the little note met the real world. Imagine a company office with many workers. The air smells of paper, ink, and warm machines. Desks are full. Phones ring. People carry folders from room to room. A new little pad appears on some desks. It is not loud. It does not shine like a new machine. It does not make coffee. It only waits, small and square, with a soft line of sticky glue on the back. But there was a problem. People did not understand it at first. A piece of paper that sticks and comes off sounds too simple. Some people looked at it and thought, "Why do I need this?" Others tried it once and forgot it. Have you ever seen something useful but only understood it later? Have you ever needed a tool after you already walked away from it? The people who believed in the note had to find a better way. They could not only explain it, they had to let people feel it in daily work, so they shared samples. Imagine opening your mail and finding a small pad of sticky notes. Imagine writing a message and putting it on a report. Imagine seeing that it stays. Imagine pulling it off and seeing that the paper is still clean. That is a quiet kind of magic, isn't it? Say it with me, this is useful. This was another big turning point. The note did not win because of a long speech. It won because people tried it. One worker used it. Then another worker wanted one. A manager put it on a file, a secretary placed it near a phone, a teacher marked a page, a student saved a thought. The idea spread from hand to hand. In simple words, the note became clear only when people used it. Now the story begins to move faster. Let us visit a desk at the end of a long day. A worker is tired, the sky outside is getting dark. There is a stack of papers and every paper asks for attention. The worker writes, "Sign here," and places the note on one page. No tape, no pin, no damage. Then the worker writes, "Call Monday," and puts another note on the phone. One small square saves one small thought. The mind feels less full. My friends, this is why the sticky note became loved. It did not do a huge job. It did many tiny jobs. It caught little thoughts before they flew away. But there was still a question. Why the famous color? Many people know the sticky note as yellow. We must be careful here, because small product stories often have different accounts. Many people say the early yellow paper came from what was available nearby. The color was bright enough to see, but soft enough for the eyes that yellow square became easy to notice. Imagine a gray office wall with one yellow note on it. Your eyes go straight there. Imagine a white document with a yellow note at the top. The message feels friendly. Not angry, it says, "Look here," but it does not shout. Repeat after me. Please look here. The color helped the note become part of office life. It was not only useful, it was easy to find. It had a clear face. It became a small sign of attention. Now let us travel from one office to many offices. The sticky note moved into schools. It moved into libraries. It moved into kitchens and shops. It moved into bags, books, and planners. People used it for phone numbers, shopping lists, study words, names, signs, and quick ideas. Have you ever written a word on a note and placed it near your mirror? Have you ever put a reminder on your door so you would not forget your keys? Have you ever found an old note and smiled because it showed a small part of yesterday? The note became a helper for memory. Try this phrase, "I will remember." Here is the gentle beauty of it, my friends. A sticky note is not important because it is expensive. It is important because it meets us where we are. People forget, people hurry, people need small signs. The sticky note says, "It is okay, put the thought here." In the next chapter, we travel into a new kind of work. Imagine a meeting room. There is a large wall. Around the table, people talk about a project. They have many ideas, and the ideas are messy. One person writes an idea on a note and sticks it to the wall. Another person writes a second idea. Soon the wall is full of small squares. But there was a problem. Ideas can be hard to organize. In a meeting, one person speaks, then another. Good ideas can disappear. Quiet people may not get time to talk. A notebook can hide everything on one page. The sticky note offered a new solution. Each note could hold one idea. People could move the notes around. They could group them. They could put similar ideas together. They could remove one without erasing the rest. This is called brainstorming. That means people share many ideas before choosing the best ones. Imagine the wall changing as people think. Notes move left and right. A group becomes a plan. A problem becomes a path. A messy room begins to feel clear. Can you see it? This was another turning point. The sticky note was no longer only a reminder. It became a tool for thinking together. It helped people build plans with their hands. It made invisible ideas visible. Say it with me. One note, one idea. Now let us travel again, this time into homes and daily life. A parent writes, lunch is in the fridge. A child writes, good luck today. A friend writes, back soon. Someone places a note on a jar, a box, a door, or a screen. The sticky note becomes more than office paper. It becomes a small voice. Have you ever received a note that made your day softer? Have you ever kept a little message longer than you planned? Why do simple words on paper sometimes feel warmer than a long email? Maybe because the hand is there, the quick line. The human touch. The small square carries more than information, it carries care. But the world was changing again. Computers arrived. Email grew. Phones became smarter. Screens began to hold reminders, calendars, and messages. A new question came. Would the sticky note disappear? Now let us travel into the age of screens. Imagine a desk with a computer, a phone, and many open tabs. Messages arrive quickly. A calendar sends alerts. A small sound says, you have something new. The office is no longer only paper and ink. But there was a problem. Digital reminders are useful, but they can also disappear into the noise. A message can hide under 10 more messages. A phone alert can ring and then be forgotten. A task can sit inside an app, far away from the eyes, so the sticky note found a new place. It stayed beside the screen. It sat on the edge of a monitor. It waited near a keyboard. Some people even made digital sticky notes on their computers. The idea moved from paper to pixels, but the feeling stayed the same. Imagine a little square on a screen saying, send report. Imagine a real paper note saying, drink water. Imagine both of them helping the same busy person through the day. Have you ever ignored a phone reminder, but listened to a small note on your desk? Why does paper sometimes feel harder to avoid? Is it because it is quiet? Is it because it waits in the same place? Try this phrase, I can see it. That is the power of the sticky note, my friends. It makes a thought visible. It takes something inside the mind and places it in the world. The note says, here I am. Do not lose me. Now let us travel to classrooms. Imagine a teacher at the front of a room. The window is open a little. You can hear shoes in the hallway. Students sit with books, pencils, and soft yellow notes. A new word is hard. A story has many parts. A student wants to mark one sentence but not write in the book. So the note becomes a safe little marker. But there was a problem. Learning can feel heavy when everything is inside one long page. A student may think, I do not understand. A teacher may need a simple way to help. The sticky note makes learning smaller. One note can hold one new word. One note can hold one question. One note can say, I like this part. The page becomes friendly. The student can move slowly. Say it with me. One small step. This is why the sticky note fits English learning too. You can write a new phrase and put it where you see it. You can repeat it in the morning. You can shadow it after listening. Shadowing means you listen and speak at the same time, like a small echo. Imagine a note on your wall that says, take a moment. Imagine another note that says, say it again. Imagine your own voice growing a little stronger each day. Now let us visit a kitchen. There is warm bread on a plate. There is a bag near the door. There is a note on the fridge. It says, buy eggs. Another note says, call mom. Another says, soup inside. The sticky note has traveled far from the laboratory. It has moved from a failed glue to a page marker, from an office tool to a planning tool, from a classroom helper to a kitchen voice. Can you imagine the first weak glue seeing all this? It might say, not bad for a mistake, my friends. This is the full circle moment. The sticky note began because something did not hold strongly enough, but that weakness became its gift. It did not need to hold forever. It needed to hold just long enough in life. Many useful things are like that. A reminder does not need to be grand. A note does not need to be beautiful. A few words can carry the next action. A small square can keep a day from falling into confusion, but the story also teaches us about ideas. Many inventions do not arrive with a loud drum. They come quietly. Someone makes a mistake. Someone else sees a different use. A team tests it. People try it. Then slowly, the world changes its habits. Have you ever made a mistake that later helped you? Have you ever used something in a way it was not meant to be used? Have you ever found a new path because the first path did not open? Repeat after me. Mistakes can help. That does not mean every mistake becomes famous. Most mistakes stay small. But the sticky note reminds us to look again. Maybe a weak glue is not only weak. Maybe a simple paper square is not only paper. Maybe a tiny note can become a tool for memory, learning, planning, and care. Now look around your room, my friends. Maybe there is a note near you right now. Maybe it is on a book, a wall, a bag, or a screen. Maybe it has only one word. Maybe it has an old task you already finished but did not remove. That is okay. Sticky notes are patient little friends, but please do not make them work for 10 years. Imagine writing one clear sentence today. Imagine placing it where your eyes will meet it. Imagine saying it aloud, slowly and clearly. Imagine your English practice becoming part of your day, not a heavy mountain. Try this phrase. I will try today. That is a good note for any desk. So the next time you see a sticky note, take a moment, touch the corner, feel how lightly it holds. Think of the strange glue, the songbook, the office desk, the classroom wall, and the kitchen fridge. It is only paper. It is only glue. But together, they carry small human needs. We need to remember. We need to share. We need to mark a page, save a thought, and leave a kind message for someone who may find it later. And maybe, my friends, that is why this little square still stays with us. It does not shout. It does not ask for a battery. It simply waits, bright and useful, ready to hold one tiny thought before it runs away. So write your note, say your phrase, and press it gently. Just do not stick it to the cat.